friends. Welcome to another episode of the Cozy Cottage Crochet Podcast. My name is Hannah. This is Nova. And this is a podcast all about crochet, a little bit of knitting, sometimes sewing, and generally living the yarniest life possible in St. Petersburg, Florida, where I live. You want to say good morning?
Yeah.
No, you're off camera. What are you eating?
A meat stick.
A meat stick. Yum. It's almost like I made you a platter of all your favorite snacks so that we could get this podcast recorded. It's about 10 a.m. on Thursday. Oh God, this is a bad start. We're gonna be fine. There should be less banging and clanging than the last podcast episode because the only workers that are here today are the plumbers. So they're doing a little bit of drilling, but they're not doing any like cutting into the ceiling or anything like that. So that's good. This one is crazy. She has a little bit of a temperature, like 99.4, but otherwise she's this all morning. So hopefully this will be fine. It has been a crazy couple of weeks. I know I say that every time, but it has been a crazy couple of weeks because last time I talked to you, they were like banging and clanging around. Gentle, gentle, please. I know you're excited. What was I saying? We were going to be kicked out of our room because they had to build stuff in there like this week or next week. But instead, there was a delay in the inspection. So we got kicked out with like 2 days notice so they could start work on the inside. You can play with those, but nothing else in mommy's stack. You got sock blockers. Can you say sock blockers?
Sock blockers.
Yeah. So we had to like pack up all our stuff really fast, and my husband's sleeping on the couch and I'm sleeping at his, oh, too loud. Don't bang it on the table, please, only on the couch. I'm sleeping in his office / our guest room, which is just his office that has a bed shoved in the corner.
Good.
Thank you. And then there was like a crazy thunderstorm thing that came through over the last weekend, and the delay is in getting the roof done on the new part, so it had a tarp over it waiting for the roofers to come, waiting for inspection and things like that. But then the roof started leaking into our living room in the same spot that it was leaking in 2016 when we bought the house, which made us buy a whole new roof. So that was like an all-night thing. My husband was up all night, like mopping up water coming into the house from the ceiling. And so that was the whole thing. And it doesn't look too bad right now. There's just one line where you can definitely tell that water came through. So once the roof is done on the addition, then the contractors are gonna have to replace part of that ceiling. These have to stay. These are all mommy's. You play with all of your toys. Thank you. This is for the podcast. And yeah, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening, but I have had some yarn content. I have quite a few projects. 2 pairs of socks, 3 cardigans, 2 knit and 1 crochet, and then a finished crochet shawl. And the crochet cardigan is new. It's a new project. And I've got some happy mail and all kinds of things to talk to you about. I just hope we can get through this. Because oh, there's grapes on the floor. Pick them up, please, before they get smushed into the carpet. I am so tired today. I have not stopped being queasy since Monday morning, and it's Thursday. I have my medicine, I have all the things, and it's just not working at the moment. This morning when we got back from our walk, I literally laid on the floor for half an hour and just let Nova destroy the house. She pulled out every toy she owns, every book. It's a disaster area in here, but I don't care because I literally couldn't function. And then I finally was able to get up and like eat a little something, and that helped. So, my Lord, y'all. What a crazy couple of weeks. And this one is the craziest. Excuse me. You are spilling your grapes left and right. Grapes have to stay on the table now. New rule. If you're looking for me anywhere on the interweb, after that introduction, you can find me as the Cozy Cottage Crochet on Instagram. You can also find her there. I post pictures of her. And on Facebook. The Cozy Cottage on Ravelry. And if you have anything to say about the podcast specifically, the Cozy Cottage Crochet at gmail.com. Oh my goodness. A huge thank you to everyone who shopped the D-stash that I talked about in last podcast episode. There's literally only 2 skeins of yarn left. And I have added to that some finished objects that either just don't fit my current style or they're made in yarn that makes me itchy, like alpaca. Since she was born, I literally cannot wear alpaca. It makes me so itchy. So I have a couple of finished shawls. There's a hot pink one. There's a neutral brown tones one. Are you okay? You silly goose. Do you want to sing a song?
Yeah.
What would you like to sing?
Like a kick of your star.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star?
Yeah.
Okay, sing it.
Well, hold it.
That was beautiful. That was a beautiful song. Thank you for sharing. There's also there's a couple shawls and 2 sweaters. One is my Blurred Lines sweater, which I love that sweater. I love it so much, but it doesn't quite fit after postpartum, and for sure it's not going to fit after this baby comes out. It's just a little too small, so I need to make myself a new one. My gosh, I hope you guys are okay with what's happening right now. Okay, don't push heads, remember? No heads, no faces. We're very gentle. So that one, I would love to go. It will totally fit someone who's just slightly smaller than I am. It used to fit me, but my body is a little bit of a different size than it used to be. And then my super bulky grandpa cardigan. It's just a little too felted, and it's a little too tight in the underarms for me. And I put all of the exact measurements of that. Like I would love it to go live with someone else. Because I can't wear it. That's why I'm making a new one. So I will put a link directly down below to the Facebook post where that D-stash is. If you'd like to have any finished object. Hey. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. We do not kick. You may kick pillows over there. If you want to kick, go over that way. Wow. She was acting like this last night, like next level crazy. Manic almost. Like delighted, but out of control. And my little mommy instinct went off, and I was like, something is not right. This is not normal for her. I mean, she normally has a lot of energy, but this, not normal. And then when we got home last night, she cried her eyes out in the bath, and then I took her temperature, and it was like 99.4, and I was like, never wrong. The mama instinct is never wrong, is it? She's still acting like that. I would rather that than sobbing, but yeah. Wow, baby girl. I just can't even, I don't even know what's happening right now. Are you okay? Do you need some water?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you'd like to own a completed object that I have made, you can click on the Facebook link. I put some prices, but honestly, make me an offer. I just want things to live in a happy home. Where they're gonna be used and loved. And they're all things that I love. They just either don't fit me, or they make me a little itchy, or they don't fit my style right now. And we have a new addition coming to the house, not just the room, but this baby. And oh, were you a little crazy and you hurt yourself? Do you want me to kiss it?
Yeah.
Mwah. You smell like a meat stick. So yes, the link for that will be directly down below. It is a different post than the D-stash last time. But if you'd like something, just send me a message. Gosh, I don't know where to start. Do you need a hug?
No.
No hugs? Can you say octopus? Octopokey.
Octopus.
Octopus. I have some finished objects.
Octopus.
Octopus? I actually have 3 finished objects. 3. It is, before you get impressed, let me remind you that these are all things that have been on the needle/hook for months. I have 2 finished pairs of socks though, which means I have 0 pairs of socks on the needles right now. I finished the 2nd pair yesterday. No screaming, inside voice. Thank you. And the shawl I have been working on for ages. So all of these things were very close to being done. They just weren't done yet. So the first pair that is done is my Christmas socks. It's living in my Slip Stitch Studios Eeyore bag, and they are closing at the end of this month. I'm so sad about that. They're my favorite bag maker. But I have been working on these Christmas socks since December. They're in Honeybee Knits yarn in the colorway Merry Knitmas, a very Knitmas. It is 75% merino, 20% nylon, and 5% stellina. I don't know if it's picking up the sparkle at all, but they're really sparkly. This is how much I have left. And I kept thinking, like, oh my gosh, I don't have as much left of this as I normally do. Yeah, of course I don't. Because I made long socks. I made long socks. I don't know where my other sock blocker went. This one pilfered it and it did not return to me. So I will only be able to show you 1 sock on a sock blocker. This is the first one I completed. So I just knit these with a long cuff. I don't know why I was into making long socks. All of a sudden, both of the pairs of socks that I've completed have a long cuff of 6 inches. So I do 64 stitches.
I want it.
No, this is Mommy's. Go find the other one. 2x2 rib on my Chalgu 9-inch circulars. And then I did 6 inches of cuff, and then I put in a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which you can see I didn't change the yarn, so it's like a cute little heel. And then I did 5 8.
Big.
You're so big? Is that what you said?
Yeah, big.
A big baby. 5 8 inches of stockinette for the foot, and then I put in a rounded toe from Mina's rounded toe recipe. So this sock was done previously. This one you saw last time. Do not touch that. Just gonna give y'all seasickness. So last time I was right here on the foot on this one. So I have actually completed the entire foot and the toe. I did the toe last night. The reason that this one got done is because I took her to the Children's Museum, which is her favorite place, and she like ran around everywhere pretty much without my intervention. Like I followed her around to make sure no one was gonna steal her, but like I was able to knit like this much on the sock. We were there for like an hour and a half, and then I finished the toe. So it's done. A finished pair of socks. This is the first finished. They are socks, and I have weaved in the ends. So they literally only just have to take the stitch marker off and put them in the washing machine. Because I wash and dry all my socks because I cannot be bothered. So finished pair of socks number 1. Finished pair of socks number 2 are my travel socks, meaning that this stays in my big mom bag at all times. And I have been slowly working on these since December too. And the only reason these are done is because I officiate weddings for a beach wedding company, if you don't know. And last week I had weddings 3 nights in a row, and they were all at like 7 p.m. So normally I would leave at 6 p.m. to get there at 6:30. But it's much better for our situation if I leave at 5:30. Like anytime anyone leaves at like 6, it's dicey because she can get really upset at bedtime. So I was leaving at 5:30, which meant I had half an hour to knit on these socks for 3 days in a row, uninterrupted. Which is, you're way over there, I see you. So that was delightful. Delightful. So the yarn I used for these socks is West Yorkshire Spinners 4-ply in the colorway Wildflower. This was a gift from my lovely friend Jen, who lives in the UK and sent it to me. Thank you so much, Jen. And then I'm using for contrast toes, heels, and cuffs this Langja wool that I got in 2018 when we went to the UK. I still have that ball and like a little bit of gray left. I see you, baby. They're done. They're done. And look, I had even further to go on this sock. That's where I was last time. I've knit the entire foot and the toe. Oh, I know what. I knit all of this in those times when I had time before the wedding. And then this toe I knit, we took a trip to IKEA, which is like a half an hour away from our house. Maybe longer, maybe 45 minutes. So on the way to IKEA and the way back, I did the toe. So this is sock number 1. This is sock number 2. I love it. I'm really happy with them. And the ends are woven in on this one too, even though there's contrast toes, heels, and cuffs. So proud of me right now for weaving in the ends. I loved weaving in the ends on the Christmas socks because I didn't do a contrast toe, heel, or cuff. And they literally were like 2 ends for the whole sock on both of them. That was delightful. So finished objects, finished objects. And then I also have a finished object in a crochet shawl, but it's not finished. The ends are not woven in and I have not blocked it. The reason I haven't blocked it is because I have nowhere to put it at the moment. It's just been crazy in this house with construction going on. So it is a design that I'm working on. It's called the Alina shawl. It's made in Malabrigo lace in the colorway Wales Road. It's 100% merino. This is how much I have left. I had 2 50-gram skeins. I want to say this is probably 10 grams of yarn left. And this is the shawl. It's so pretty. The border is done all the way around. I had, I don't know, like half of this border left to do last time I showed it to you. It's still very like rumply and crumply and curly because it really needs to be blocked. Anytime you do lace, it needs to be blocked. But this is a good representation of what the border looks like. And originally I was like, I don't know. Mirabella's singing. YouTube is gonna like dock me for that, I'm sure. The border was gonna go all the way around. And I actually love at the point how that looks. It looks like little waves on both sides of this point, which I really love. So it should grow a fair amount. This is pretty big, I think, for 80 to 90 grams of lace weight yarn. It's just gonna be a really cute, small summer shawl, but it's gonna be, like, this is what it's like unblocked. It's probably gonna be like that by the time I block it. I don't really need to block it, and I just haven't been able to. It's on the list. It's on the list. So I love it. Lace weight yarn, y'all know how I feel about it. It takes absolutely forever to crochet or knit with. Therefore, it is the best bang for your buck. So that is all my finished objects. I'm going to talk about the knit cardigans because I want to spend some time on the crochet cardigan at the end because it is a new project. So let me start with, these really haven't gotten a ton of work on either of them, but you know, if I put one stitch on something, it's going in the podcast, especially lately. This is my second version of the super bulky grandpa cardigan by Joji Locatelli. This is where I was before, and this is where I am now. So a couple of inches have been done. You may be like, well, that's a good amount. Yeah, but this is like bulky weight yarn. So this was like one night of knitting. I am trying to contemplate. I immediately started alternating skeins after I split for the sleeves.
Baby naked.
It's a naked baby? Oh no. Do you want to show the camera? The naked baby? Here, come here. Come here, little destructo. Hey. Calm down. There's the naked baby. There she is. She's obsessed with taking all the clothes off of baby dolls right now. So I just go around following her and I dress them. I dress them so she can undress them. That's her favorite activity. So I started alternating skeins to avoid pooling. And look at this. It's definitely pooling. Right there. Like the blue seems to be showing up in the same spot. And this seems to be showing up in the same spot. So I think I'm going to rip it back to the underarm, or at least where I started alternating skeins. Like all of this is blue together. It's the point of alternating skeins. if I can't avoid the pulling, and I am determined to avoid the pulling. So I'm currently alternating 2 giant skeins, but I have another half a one from the previous sweater that I can work in. So I may just rip back a little bit and start alternating them again. So that's number 1. That's the super bulky grandpa. I'm not going to go into the woes because I just cannot seem to work properly on this cardigan. But I want it to be perfect. That is the main problem, actually, is that I want it to be perfect, and I know it can be perfect because the first one was perfect. We had to take a quick break because the plumbers were knocking on the door. Something about they can't tie in the water to the kitchen. It has to go from the water heater over. I don't know. We are going to be without water for a couple of hours this afternoon. So that should be fun. Also, my husband's not feeling well now. And I'm like, this germ pond spreading her diseases. Oh, you got a baby doll pacifier? Is that a play one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what I was saying. Something about the super bulky grandpa cardigan. Whoa. How about you go get your car papas? Okay? How about you go get it and then come sit next to me? Go get it and come sit next to me. The car papas is the pacifier only for the car. And I think we just need to maybe use it. She only gets it in the car and at night. And at the end of this month, we are going to be done with the pacifier. The pacifier fairy's going to come visit our house and bring Nova gifts in exchange for pacifiers. Because I want to be done with that before the new baby comes. I don't want to introduce a major change like that right when the baby comes either. So I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it. But we might as well take advantage today since you're not feeling well. So we have 2 more cardigans to talk about, and I have some happy mail and a cool thing. 2 cool things to tell you. The cardigan, this one also has not had a ton of work, maybe about an inch. It is my mix and match cardigan, which is a pattern by Nina Phillips in electric pink. Literally this much, just about an inch. That was one night as well that I worked on this. I think maybe the same day I podcasted last time is the night that I worked on that. So yeah, it's coming along. My goal, my plan, my dream, as long as it's gonna take me, is to actually finish the super bulky grandpa cardigan because it's not gonna take that long. It's bulky yarn. And once that is finished, I would like to swatch for and get on the needles my V-neck boxy, which is another pattern by Hoagie Locatelli, because that is literally miles of stockinette knitting, which I would like to have after the baby is born. I want to have like the bottom ribbing done so that I can just knit in the round after the baby is born, because I did have a couple of projects set up that way for Nova. When she was born, I had a couple of pairs of socks and like a hat, and that was the only thing I could manage to work on because it was so easy. You giving me elbow squeezes? When she doesn't feel good or she's sad, she always squeezes my elbow or my arm with her little hand, and I love it. I love it. I love you. Okay. I'm glad you're being a little calmer. That's good. I think you need to rest. We're going to take your temperature again after this is done because you feel hot to me. So the other cardigan that I am working on is living in this llama bag, which was a gift from my lovely friend Amanda. And then the yarn inside was also a gift from my lovely friend Amanda. Hi, Amanda. And
Hi, Amanda.
You say hi, Amanda?
Yeah.
Do you remember Mommy's friend Amanda? That we saw her in Orlando when we went to Orlando with Mimi and Pop Pop? You remember Mommy's friend?
Yeah.
Yeah? And she made you that beautiful little cardigan with hearts on it?
Yes.
Yeah, you wore that all winter. She remembers you. So, I think this is funny. Amanda said to me a long time ago, I bought a couple of fades and I don't like faded things. So do you think you could use this to make another sweater? And I was like, absolutely, because I love faded things. So it's a fade, it's a 5-skein fade from Asylum Fibers. This is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is 75% merino, 20% nylon, 5% gold sterina. I'm like halfway through this ball, the first ball.
Mama, so there is 76.
I don't know what you're saying.
So girls in my wall. So
wow.
to
Thank you for telling me that story.
At
At the airport? I caught like 20% of those words. Because you have a pacifier and it's hard to understand you.
I choose. So I gotta go to the buses. So I gotta go to buses.
Don't kick. So you gotta go somewhere. You can just hang out on the couch if you want and give me arm squeezes. I was originally going to make the Lau cardigan with this. And if you have watched the last couple of episodes, you know about the Lau cardigan. It's so pretty, but it is made bottom up and the pattern calls for lace weight held double. The whole thing is made bottom up and I was concerned about running out of yarn. Also a concern, because I was thinking about running out of yarn, was that the collar is done afterwards and sewn on, so I was trying to work out in my head, what size would I have to make with this amount of yarn that I have, with this amount of gauge that I have, and I worked out all the math, but I was just like, I don't know, it's still kind of iffy. And then I was going to modify the bottom border and the collar to be a different kind of ribbing that I could work simultaneously with the body. And finally I just sat down, like I've been thinking about this for weeks, and I was like, I really need to do this. Like, I can make that out of different yarn. For the love of yarn, I can make that out of different yarn. I don't need to always jump through all these hoops. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to make the Lau cardigan out of this yarn. And then my other thought was, and why I made it originally send me this yarn, was I could make another blurred line sweater with this yarn, which I could, but I am not going to make any sweaters right now. I'm not going to make anything that's not a cardigan right now because my body is getting bigger because I'm pregnant. And I don't know where we're going to settle after this baby comes out. In fact, I probably will not make any sweaters until I have weaned that child, because with Nova, I did lose my pregnancy weight, but then when I stopped nursing her, I gained like 10, 12 pounds, which then took another while to settle down, like to figure out where my body was going to land after that. And I think it's just like hormones and things like that. So I know that I don't want to make, unless it's an oversized thing, I don't want to make a fitted sweater while I am pregnant or postpartum or nursing, because it's just not going to fit properly. Whatever body size my body is going to be at the end. Hi, sweet pea. So then that actually freed me up to be like, what other sweaters are in my queue, in my library, and my favorites? And there's a sweater pattern in there that I've actually wanted to make for ages. And the pattern was gifted to me as part of the Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted, I want to say 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, because COVID was here. Is it so funny to be alive? Ooh, you feel hot, baby doll. Her feet are like on fire.
On fire.
Yeah, we're gonna check your temperature in a little bit. I kind of want to just let her have a fever and see if she can burn it out, but she is hot. If it gets really high, I'm gonna give her some medicine for sure. Anyways, okay, we talked about no kicking, okay? You can give my arm squeezes, you can put your feet on me, but no kicking. This pattern is a crochet pattern, of course, and it is called the Hecla cardigan. It is a paid for pattern. Do I recommend this pattern to you? No. But I knit and crochet a lot of things that I would not recommend for a beginner or even necessarily an intermediate person. Like, this should not be your first cardigan. For one thing, there's no measurements in this entire pattern except for one bust measurement. So that's there's no schematic, there's no measurements at all except a brush measurement. So you're just kind of guessing at what size you're
I
gonna
need
make.
to
You need to poop?
Yeah.
It's a good thing this is happening now and not when our water is turned off. Hold please. Right back. It was a false alarm. There was no poop. Only farts. But I did take her temperature while she was on the toilet because she was contained. And it's like 100.1 now. So not as hot as you feel, honestly. But it is going up. So I just have to monitor or keep an eye on it. Because I'd rather just let you have the fever and kill whatever germs are in your body. But if it gets too high, we gotta bring it down. Anyways, this is Hecla. This is the cardigan. It's very cute. I've wanted to make it for a long time. As I said, there's no measurements. There's no schematic. This pattern is translated from another language. So there's that. There's very little in the way of extra information at all. Also, I am making the large size. The pattern is just wrong in a couple of places. The numbers are right, but there's like increase rows where you increase and it's like 2 stitches here and then 5 stitches and then repeat until this many stitches remain. That works for the small size, but it doesn't work for the size I'm making. As far as I can tell, the numbers are correct. So, and every time I've counted after every increase row and my numbers are spot on. So I think it's fine. But if you are a beginner crocheter, I think that this pattern would frustrate you to no end. It also doesn't really have yardage requirements. It just tells you how many balls of Madeline-Tosh yarn to use. Shockingly, I have gauge. I don't know how that happened. I almost never get gauge on anything, but I got gauge on this and I am actually 15 rows into the yoke already. And I have to get to 23 rows before I split for the sleeves. Right now I'm at 228 stitches for my size, and I will need to get to 303 stitches. So let me show you what I have done. I am really excited about this. So it's a top-down seamless cardigan. It's got like a circular yoke. Oh, you're drinking water? Yum. It goes like this. So this is the yoke. I think that it's, oh, you okay? I almost landed on your toe.
Hi, I'm back.
Hi. Ooh, queasy. Sorry. That Zofran is wearing off. So I think when we get to 23, that'll be actually perfect for splitting for the sleeves. So you work this top down, you split for the sleeves, and then after the entire cardigan is done, you pick up, and I have to show, it's gonna be really hard to show you because there's hardly any pictures here, but you pick up and you do this ribbed, attached rib as you go all the way around, and the cardigan kind of opens like this. I may modify it. So pretty. I may modify this because I don't know that I want the cardigan to go open. I might want it to be straight all the way down, but I will have to decide that when I do it. I did not chain at the beginning. I used a foundation half double crochet. What are you doing? Oh, you're looking at the sheep. I see. My stitch marker, or my progress keeper, is a little sheep that I got from Knit Boop, and my stitch marker is also a little sheep. So I used a foundation half double crochet because I just think that that's cleaner. It will give a little more stretch around the neck, which is what I want. Whoa, you okay, baby? Keep going, keep going. And I'm also, instead of doing a chain 3 at the beginning of each row, I'm doing a chainless double crochet, which I have had to watch a video probably 6 times to make sure I'm doing it correctly, because I can just never remember how to do that. But it's giving me, and I will show you, a much cleaner edge. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want, when I come back to attach this border, this collar that's going around, I want it to be not have holes or anything like that, and that will work much better. So that is the cardigan, the crochet cardigan. It's been getting a lot of love. That's Hecla. I am gonna be fading that. We'll see how much yarn I have left when I'm split for the sleeves, because I will be working the sleeves and the body simultaneously. And once I split for the sleeves, it should be pretty okay, actually. You got a teddy bear? That's Daddy got that for Mommy years and years ago. It came as part of an edible arrangement for Valentine's Day. And I had it in a drawer where it's been forever. And when we were packing up our room, she found it and confiscated it. And now it belongs to you. So yeah, I'm gonna fade it all the way down.
Look at
They're doing something in the garage. I'm planning on fading it all the way down and having the darkest color be the collar. So I have agreed to be an affiliate for a company called Twice Sheared Sheep. And their marketing person sent me the loveliest email. And first of all, I could tell that she had actually watched my YouTube channel and knew what it was about. I can't tell you how many emails I get where it's like, we love your content, blah, blah, blah. It has nothing to do with knitting or crochet or yarn in any fashion. Drives me nuts. Usually I just ignore them. But I could tell that she had actually watched my YouTube and like interacted with it before. And then I did my own digging, like what is Twice Sheared Sheep? And it just filled me with so much happiness because this company was founded by a mom with little kids. And now, years later, everyone who works for this company, all the people who make the items that the company sells are moms with kids. Did you bang your head? On the wall? Ouch. So fitting that, what? Are you taking the couch apart? Leave the couch cushions alone, please. It's fitting that this is happening while I'm trying to talk about this. So like they come in the office and they get their supplies and then they go home with their babies and they make these things all week long. So these are like handmade, they're beautiful. And a company that actually gives a crap about moms. First of all, founded by a mom, but actually gives a crap about moms. Makes me want to cry because they're so... I don't have a hat, baby. Oh, you can't have that one because you broke it. That one's mommy's only. Means so much to me, especially with the postpartum experience I had with Nova and then another one on the way. Like, that just aligns so much personally with my mission and vision. And they actually make beautiful stuff. So they sent me a couple of things to show you, and I have an affiliate link where you can get a little bit off as well. If you go and purchase anything, you just click use my link because you can have it. It's beautiful. So this is the things they sent me. So they sent me these are snag-free stitch markers. So these are for knitting. So they're basically like little ring stitch markers, except they look like plates and they're really pretty. So these just slide for your knitting needle. So these would not be working for crochet, right? And then these are the medium stitch markers, and these will work for crochet because you can use them as progress keepers or you can use them as stitch markers. And I'll see if I can show you just the way it's designed. It has this little hook right here. I don't know if I can get it on the frame, but you basically just slip it over your yarn. So it will come on and off really easily. And they have multiple different designs like this. These are all little leaves, as you can see, with a couple of little flowers, which I think are so pretty. I haven't actually used them yet because I've been waiting to show them to you, but I'm about to put them on my Hecla cardigan for sure. And then these are just the little beads, and these are all like made by moms. I just love these so much. And she sent me a little beautiful tin to put them in. It's a little fox. They have all kinds of little wonderful tins on their website. So I will be putting them all in here. And then also this is something they're famous for, is a snag-free row counter. So this works for knitting and crochet, and it tells you how to use it on the back, but it's numbered 1 through 9 and then a 0 at the end. And you basically can keep track of your row without having to push buttons or anything like that. You just move this up every single row, which is so cool. So I love it. I really love it. They also have, they have one type of yarn on their website. They have a couple of bags. They also have something I think is really cool, and I may be purchasing for myself, is a foot ruler, like how to make socks for each size foot, which I think is an amazing tool. And I need that in my life. Not that I make socks for other people except for my mom, but like I need one. So I think I'm gonna get one of those.
Too much.
That's too much. Good job spitting it out. Good job. Do you need some water?
Yes.
Okay. I just really loved it, and I really enjoyed. I had a Zoom call with them, which I really enjoyed. I love the products that they sent me, and I love their mission and vision. Caring about moms. That like means a lot to me. So I will be using their stuff going forward. I'm going to be an affiliate with them. And you can click on the link if you just want to check it out and see what kind of things they offer. Just know that I am very selective about the companies that I work with. And I have never agreed to be an affiliate for anything until now because I just grill the companies usually. But this one, I just love their ethos so much because it was founded by a mom and they care about moms and they make beautiful stuff for knitting and crochet. And that means everything to me, especially with this peanut. This peanut. This peanut. I have a little bit of happy mail to show you. I got a box in the mail from my lovely friend Emmy, who sent me a birthday present. She sent me a baby onesie for this baby. It's Cheerios, it says love. There was also a Cheerio shirt for Nova in there and some snacks for Nova, which have already been, the Cheerio shirt is in her drawer and the snacks have already been eaten completely, immediately. So I can't wait for the baby to wear this. It looks so small. I can hardly remember when you were that small. I can hardly remember. Speaking of babies, this is a good time to talk about the fact that we now know what the baby is. We had our appointment on Friday last week. The bear's naked. Oh boy. And it is a baby boy. There's a boy in here, in this bump. Give you a bump date. It's definitely a bump. There is no pretending it is anything else but a bump right now. We are at 21 weeks today, so halfway through. And there's a boy, and it will be named Noah, because that is the only boy name that my husband and I have ever agreed on in 11 years of marriage. So I'm gonna have a Nova and a Noah. And I'm already gonna get them mixed up, I'm sure. But yeah, it's a baby boy. I'm really relieved because Josiah really wanted a boy. And also, I am like 99% sure this is my last pregnancy, just with everything that we have gone through. I have a dream of having a big family, but that's just not gonna be our path. So 2 is gonna be enough. And yeah, I'm really, really thrilled about having a baby boy. I meant to say this at the beginning of the podcast, actually. And it slipped my mind because she was being so crazy and everything, the plumbers. And I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, it's gonna be a baby boy. Some of you have asked about a registry. I don't have one yet. I am going to put a small registry together. We don't need a ton of stuff because I have saved literally everything that could be saved from Nova. So like I have the baby bathtub, I have the crib, I have the stroller, I have the bouncy seat, like I have all of that saved to use again. There's a few things that I wish I had known that I needed with Nova that I'll put on there, but what I can tell you we probably will not need is handmade baby clothes. If this baby is anything like Nova, she really did not get to wear handmade things because she spit up constantly on everything. So yeah, she didn't really get a chance to wear her clothes because she went through like 3 outfits a day, every day for the first year of her life and a lot of bibs. So yeah, I don't need any handmade baby clothing, so please don't send any because I'll feel really bad when the baby doesn't wear them. But once I have that together, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I also, while I'm on the subject, wanted to tell you that with the money that y'all gave for the D-stash that I had in the last episode, I was able to, well, we have the baby monitor for Nova. I ordered another baby monitor for the new baby, the same one. We love it so, so much. It's the Infant Optics baby monitor. So I have that. I also got a rocking chair. It's a rocking recliner. I did look at like a furniture store. Oh my Lord. Did y'all know that rocking recliners are like $700? That is insane. So I found one on Facebook Marketplace from a person who had used it for their baby. And we did have to rent a Home Depot truck to go get it because it's massive, but it rocks without making noise. It is super comfy and it's big and it reclines. Nova loves it. We can sit next to each other in it and read books. So I was able to get the rocking chair situation sorted. And I'm also made myself an acupuncture appointment for tomorrow because this nausea is nonstop. Since Monday morning, it's Thursday. It has not let up at all. And I also have been getting weird pain right here on the side of the right side of my belly button. And the doctors, my OB is like, yeah, I mean, it's just a cramp, but it is super painful. In my unprofessional, non-medical opinion, I think it probably has something to do with the fact that I had surgery through my belly button in that direction in August. And it's just anytime I'm like even remotely exerting myself, it hurts. There's no lump, there's no like hernia, there's nothing like that. But something is upset in there. It's too small for you. It's only for a bear. So I made an acupuncture appointment because my doula suggested that might help. I was literally crying. It hurt so bad the other day. So that is what I used all that money for. And there's a little bit left for baby things for the new baby as well. So I deeply, deeply appreciate everyone who gave that yarn a new home, and I hope that it will grow into something beautiful in your hands. Anyways, back to the happy mail. My friend Emmy made me a cowl. This is my design. This is the gift cowl. She gave it to me as a gift and I love it. It's like the perfect size. It's the perfect color and I just love it. And it's really, really light. It's way lighter than the one I made because it's a thinner yarn than I used for the pattern. So I'm actually really, really, really happy with it because I could wear this like now. Not outside, it's like 85 degrees, but inside I could wear this and not be too hot. It's beautiful. The gift cowl. Gifted to me. I love it. And then I'm not going to show you everything that was in here, but I just want to show you one other thing, which was this. Oh. Beautiful yarn. It's called Destination Yarn. Colorway is Osaka. 75 merino, 25 nylon. This has to be a shawl, right? This has to go together to be a shawl. This is the tag, Destination Yarn. It's beautiful. I don't know what shawl this is going to become. It smells good too. It smells like cinnamon. So it's going to go in my box of very treasured skeins of yarn until I can figure out what to do with it because it does need to be a perfect project. I just ow! Gentle, no pinch. You've been pinching since you popped out. Did you know that? You've been pinching since you were a teeny tiny little baby. When I was nursing her a long time ago, she would grab me under here and literally my whole arm was black and blue for quite some time. Anyways. It's probably going to stay in this box for a little bit though, because I cannot get to my yarn stash. My yarn stash is in a closet in my husband's office / the place where the bed is that I'm sleeping on until this nonsense is done. It's not that I can't get to my yarn stash, it just requires a lot of moving of like furniture that's shoved in there because we can't be in our room. So I don't know. I honestly don't even know what to do about the fact that I don't have a pair of socks on the needles. I think there may be a ball or two of yarn in my work in progress bin that I can get to that maybe I can start a pair of socks with, because it's not reasonable to not have a pair of socks on the needles, right? What am I going to use for my project on the go? I don't know. So yeah. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I don't know what today's. What is life? What even is today? How are you? If you've made it through this podcast episode, there's been less noise, but there's been a lot of craziness and a lot of me being distracted and a lot of me not even knowing what's going on. I'm super queasy. This is not my color. I should not wear white. I'm so pale. I actually am this pale, even though I live in Florida. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks, and I don't foresee it getting any less crazy. Like, work is still happening. I am officiating 10 weddings in May because we have to pay for this edition. And I am 5 months pregnant, and this one is sick again. And it could be much worse. Like, she could be really sick. She could have strep or pink eye or something really nasty, RSV. She just has a fever. But Mama is tired. That's what I have to say about that. Mama is tired. But we'll get through it. I'm feeling optimistic in this particular moment. This morning, not feeling optimistic. I laid on the floor and let the world burn. Anarchy reigned for 40 minutes while I laid on the floor. It seems like we may need some snuggles this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you agree we need some snuggles? Do you feel sick, Nova?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does your head hurt?
Yes.
Yes. Does anything else hurt?
But,
Your leg hurts? What about your throat? Yeah. I'm so sorry, sweet pea. Here, come here. Let me snuggle you. I'm so sorry you feel bad. You gave your germs to Daddy, and Daddy feels bad now too. I love you. Can you say bye-bye to the friends?
bye-bye, 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 friend. We'll see you again real soon.
Real soon. Say, if you're sick, feel better.
Feel better.
Feel better. Yeah. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you're working on. Leave me a comment and let me know if this kind of insane episode is okay with you. Because I just don't know what else to do. I don't know if I'd be podcasting at all if I couldn't do whatever this is. And I know it's so much noise. Me from 5 years ago would be horrified. This podcast is 5 years old. Did you know that? Me from 5 years ago would be horrified at all the noise and the background stuff. But this is real life. I've never tried to hide real life from y'all, and I will not start now. And it's for sure going to be the only way I podcast when the new baby comes out. There's going to be a baby with me every single time. So sometimes the baby is sick. And sometimes Mama feels like she's going to throw up every second of every day. Just never know what's happening. But I appreciate y'all for being here and inspiring me. I can't tell you how much you all inspired me to keep crocheting and knitting, because it is hard sometimes, especially being pregnant. Like, I don't have the energy. I feel sick. There's so much going on. But I am so inspired to keep going because of this podcast and because of the wonderful things that you make. And you put so much joy into my universe, and I hope I can give a little bit of that back to you. And we'll see what the next 2 weeks brings. It should bring a roof on the addition and perhaps the ceiling being fixed in our living room. So that should be exciting. Yeah. Until I see you again, I wish you all the time in the world for crochet and for knitting. And I hope to have some myself. But we'll see how this little sick baby does. I love you all. Happy crafting. Be kind to yourself. Bye. Bye. Bye.